Hi everybody, you're listening to the Hisessions Hawai podcast where we talk about everything local and beyond. I'm Johnny Masato, your host, and joining me today is Kyle Shimabukuro and Devon Nekoba.
Hey.
Before we begin, let me remind our listeners of all the ways they can stay in touch with the show. There is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Hisessions. You can go to SoundCloud, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts to listen to the podcast. And finally, you can email us at hisessions@yahoo.com. If you'd like to help the show, get more music on the channel, please go to patreon.com and donate. There you'll be more involved. Yada, yada, yada. Our new Patreon, Mike C. Thank you, Mike C.
Mahalo.
Thanks for signing up. We appreciate you. And if you'd like to be, we got a shirt coming your way. Next month is going to be the live stream where we give away the guitar.
Oh, no way.
Really?
The signed guitar.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah,
we
what
had no
live
idea
stream?
about any of that till just now.
What live stream?
Oh, we're going to do a live stream. It's going to be jazz night
Okay.
with the,
Where?
here at the house.
Wait.
Are we
It's not
invited?
it's not a podcast thing. It's a Hisessions thing.
It's going to be a high session thing, yeah. But
Oh.
you guys are invited. I just haven't said.
Thanks for inviting us.
I'm waiting till I was waiting till June to kind of like get everything together, send it all out because it's going to be
I
end
like
of
that,
June.
Yeah. And we're giving away the guitar, by the way.
Yeah. All right.
Not at a thing that you're going to be at, but okay.
Yeah, you'll be there.
All right.
Okay.
It's
Are you sure we're gonna be
like
there?
a weekday or something? So like you should be able to make it.
Okay.
I have rehearsal.
But-
It's okay. Come on, our guest is waiting.
All right.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Kupu Kupu Landscaping, Landscape Architects. You can call Kevin Yokomura, 808-722-8685 for a free estimate on any landscaping, or go to kupukupulandscaping.com. And, of course, thank you to Fort Ruger Market. Kyle and I are still off fish, but everything looked wonderful today. So,
His mercury level, 40-something.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and you're supposed to be under 10.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle.
And that's why I don't eat fish.
All right, you can find Devon at Kumu 94.7 and Kyle at highlifeclothing.com. And now to introduce our very special guest today, Mr. Jimmy the Geek Bender.
Yay!
Jimmy is a DJ, local personality, the sports commentary. And we've known Jimmy for a long time. A long time. Although,
like before we had
Is that
kids.
a nice way of saying you're old?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I've known you since before each of us was married and had kids.
That's true. Yeah.
so Jimmy, we're only going to spend about 20 to 25 minutes on this particular topic.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to just tell me how lucky or awesome it is that Shota Imanaga is now a pitcher for the Cubs and how well he's doing
Jeez.
as a Cubs
For
pitcher.
the who?
For the
For the
Cubs.
Cubs.
Chicago Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah, Imanaga is Cubs. Yamamoto is Dodgers.
Okay.
What a great grab. I mean, our bullpen is horrible. But
Yeah, our relievers need work.
yeah,
Yes.
big time.
I
But
shouldn't say "are" because
I didn't
no.
know. Are you a Cubs fan?
I am a Cubs fan. Yeah, I mean,
Really?
yeah.
I like this
well,
guy
I'm
even
just
more.
a Chicago, so I like Bears,
Not
Bulls.
Bears.
Because
Cubs.
why?
I don't know. I just because I was born in 1978.
Okay.
So you had the 85 Bears,
Mhm.
right,
Okay.
which is a big thing for football.
Wait,
And
you were
then-
born in 1978, but you got the 85 Bears?
Yeah, because
Yeah, he was
by
7 years old.
I was
It all
7
makes
years
sense.
old, right? So they were doing the Super Bowl shuffle, and I was a little kid, and I thought it was cool, right?
Wow, you
McMahon
feel even
and
older now, huh?
Right.
Jimmy.
And then when I was playing baseball, I used to like Ryan Sandberg.
Yes.
second
Okay.
baseman
Yeah,
for
he
the
was a
Cubs.
great player.
Great
Yeah.
player.
That's my generation's Mr.
Yeah.
Cub. My
Yeah.
dad's generation was Ernie Banks, but my generation
It was Ryan Sandberg. Yeah.
Oh, so you
And
have
then
generational
you have the
Cubs.
90s, the
Yeah.
Bulls. So
Oh,
I just
yeah.
kind of stuck with Chicago teams because I just happened to.
Yeah.
So
My affiliation is family. Like my dad's side of the family is from Northern Illinois.
Okay.
So he grew up a Cubs fan.
You're born into it.
Yeah,
man.
you're
know
born
your
into.
choice.
I passed it on to my kids. It's misery that you pass on from generation to generation. That's
But
what it
Shut
is.
up!
you
You
have-
guys got a World Series.
Did you have
man. What are
anybody in
talking
your
about?
One.
Dude,
In
we haven't
108 years.
We haven't even played in the World Series.
Wait, who are you?
The Seattle Mariners.
Oh,
We haven't
yeah.
done
My
shit.
grandfather died without the Cubs winning a World Series in his lifetime. You know what I mean?
Do you have any defectors in your family though that moved to another organization?
So my brother is if he's watching, he's a homer. wherever he moves to, all of a sudden, and the last place he had ended up was Arizona. So now he's a Cardinals and Diamondbacks fan.
Okay.
But
Is
now
he shunned from the family though? Or?
No, we just whatever. But now he lives in Tennessee, and he hasn't gotten into the professional teams, but his son went to University of Tennessee, so now he's a volunteer. Got all this orange on.
There you go.
I'm like, whatever.
No loyalty. No
loyalty.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what the heck?
But I didn't really follow too much baseball when my son plays baseball. So now I'm following. So I follow the Cubs. But I mean, I like the Dodgers because I'm a big Shohei fan.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it's not like I dedicate everything to the Cubs. But Shota Imanaga's been amazing.
The Japanese influx has really been interesting over the last, basically since Shohei. There have been other players before that, but Shohei, and then this past year you had Yamamoto, Imanaga. You had the one other kid too. They were all
Kodai Senga?
No, Senga was before, but there was another kid that was on the Japanese World Baseball Classic with Yamamoto and Imanaga. Just talent, man.
Why do you think that's happening though?
I think it's more of a realization now. First of all, these players they've had people to follow. Ichiro, way back in the day, they had somebody to aspire to, and I think more so that once some of the bigger players started coming out, more eyeballs are on Japan now. Even Korea. I mean, there's some great Koreans that have come over. So I think that's what it boils down to, is just the eyeballs looking for it. But I'm telling you, man, the dedication. I've seen some of these Japanese players when they're like little league age, and I mean, they're out there for hours a day. Hours a day. Just practice, eat a little lunch, practice. So, yeah, there's some really good players.
They're putting in their 10,000 hours.
Oh, yeah. To make that $700 million.
Exactly. That they don't get paid until later.
It's deferred.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
So, anyway, I just thought I'd start with that because I saw that you were a big Chicago fan. So I thought that's the one bright star in a...
It's huge. I've been looking, actually. So back in the day when the Cubs had Kosuke Fukudome, we had the shirts that had actually the hiragana characters on the back instead of the English for his name.
Oh.
And I've been looking for Imanaga ones like that, and I can't find them yet. So hopefully somebody do that. Just saying.
They're selling it in LA right now, those Shohei ones with the in the back, right?
Yeah. They haven't done it for Shohei.
They have a million Shohei everything.
Oh, I know.
Dude, so they had Shohei bobblehead night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. It was this week was Shohei bobblehead night, and they said the line, like, first of all, it's a sold out stadium.
Yeah.
There was a line to get into the stadium, and then there was a line behind the line outside the stadium for people trying to get these bobbleheads. And then immediately they were on eBay for like $3,000.
Yeah.
$3,000. Yeah.
$3,000?
Yeah.
Because the only way you can get it is by being at the stadium and
right.
You know what I mean? So
I think it's Mookie Betts bobblehead tonight, and last night was the Hawaiian shirt night.
Oh, is that what it?
Yeah.
So I was up there last month. I got a jacket. And it's a nice jacket. I was like, man,
did you eBay it and see how much it's
No, we didn't eBay it. We're just gonna keep it. But
you should just see what the price is.
Just see what it's worth.
Yeah, I guess so. I could vacuum seal it, and we actually needed it because it's kind of cold. For April. Yeah.
So wait, when you were in Chicago Cubs fan, were you a Bulls fan too?
So no, and I didn't bandwagon onto that because I wasn't raised that way. My dad wasn't into NBA; it was just baseball, football. So we were Cubs, Bears, and that was it. So once the Bulls started taking off, I was like, I don't want to be that guy that like just jumps on because they're doing good. And I didn't have any history with them, so I didn't. Or Blackhawks too. Like we didn't grow up on hockey, so I didn't jump into any of that stuff. But it's fun to watch.
So you didn't pick a team. To this day, you haven't picked a team.
I'm not really into NBA or NHL. I don't know.
NHL's kind of become a niche sport anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun to watch live. Hockey
That's what I hear.
Live is amazing.
Right.
It's really amazing. But on TV, you're just kind of
somebody's got the puck. I don't know.
I can't find the puck. I'm like, where did it go?
For me, it's baseball, though. I went to a major league game, and that was a way different experience than watching it on TV, for sure.
No, it's so much fun to be in the atmosphere, right? But you got to be the right place too. Like Wrigley Field for the Cubs is there's nothing like it. I know it's an old stadium. It's not the nicest stadium. There's much nicer stadiums, but the
Plenty
vibe
mana.
there, the vibe is insane. And it doesn't matter. I've been to games there where we were up 7. I've been to games where we were down 7. It's still the same party. Like, and people don't leave. Like if you're in LA, sorry Dodgers fans, but you're the worst. You know, the people show up in the 3rd inning, leave in the 7th, and especially if the team's losing, they're out. They're done. They check out. But man, at Wrigley, it's always a party.
Well, from the Dodgers Stadium, they don't have a great exit even like it's like Aloha Stadium, you know, like after the show you're sitting there for an hour and a half just trying to get out of there.
Dude,
So.
nothing is as bad as USC. Trying to get out of the USC Stadium.
I can imagine. Yeah,
Really?
It's down in a pit, right?
Oh.
And so you cannot get out. Plus, your phone doesn't work because either everybody's on it or there's something about that I don't know, that thing.
Yeah.
So, sorry, we didn't go see a sporting event. We went to go see BTS, and it was a sold out show. I mean, it was great.
Well, you admitted that.
No, I mean, I love BTS, so it's not a big
He's
deal.
smooth like butter.
Yeah. We went to the BTS show, and then we were trying to get out of there. It took us almost 3 hours
Oh my god.
to get out because everywhere we went, there was
parents picking up the kids.
No, not even that, because you couldn't get in.
And looking at
People
him,
couldn't call
it's just
Ubers.
adult,
Yeah,
man.
what is this daddy doing
It was
here?
awful.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm never gonna come to a thing at this stadium ever again.
Yeah.
No, but I went to the Coliseum and watched when UH played USC, Charles' first year.
Right.
And then I was like, is this what college football is supposed to look like?
People show up.
Yeah,
and they
there's like
stayed.
95,000 people or something.
Right.
Like, this is incredible. You know?
Yeah.
And the parties that they had.
Oh yeah.
The entire campus.
Right.
Just block party, tailgating, the entire campus. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question. Maybe before we get into Jimmy's stuff, I have a selfish question.
Uh-huh.
So in July, I'm going to the T-Pain concert.
What?
Why?
I'm going to be
I know.
because my daughter wants to go to the T-Pain concert, and I told her
T-Pain?
Yeah.
He can actually really sing, by the way.
No, that's what I
yeah,
hear.
yeah.
He's
That's
an
what I hear.
amazing singer.
So anyway, without getting too into detail, I'm like, all right, you can go, but I'm not gonna hang out with you or anything. Like you can just go do your thing, but I want to be there because for the ingress and egress, getting in and out, and how do we handle that? So I'm trying to come up with a strategy of how I can get out of there.
Wait, where is that?
At Aloha Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Just
I
hang
thought you were
on
like
at-
flying somewhere
yeah.
for the
No.
T-Pain
It's gonna be at
concert.
Aloha Stadium.
Hang on at Ice Palace.
We'll join you.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just walk over to Little
Couple
Caesars or
skate
something.
only.
And anyway, but yeah, so the idea is I don't want to park in the parking structure, or do I? Because I have a ticket, so I can go in and out, Do I?
Can you get in and out? Because sometimes once you get in, you can't get back out.
So I was thinking, do I, during the concert, move my car somewhere, or I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get out of there.
So T-Pain is playing in a parking lot.
He's playing in the parking lot.
But they can't play. Yeah, the
They
stadium
play on a
can-
field and just
No, cannot.
No.
Yeah.
They won't
Yeah.
let you even
Yeah.
walk in that place.
So what do you think is the
Interesting.
best strategy to get?
Uber. Have her Uber it. Stay home.
Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, we park at a friend's house nearby,
Yeah.
up in Foster Village or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then Uber there, and then Uber back out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
okay.
Done.
I think that's
just know that it's gonna cost you.
yeah.
I love
Because
it. Yeah.
okay. So the thing you probably don't know about John is he's fundamentally lazy.
Yeah.
And he's really, really cheap.
Oh, that's a tough
So
one.
exactly. So these are like the two worst
No.
things, right?
Yeah.
He's got to spend time trying to go there and park and do all that stuff, which is a pain in the ass.
Right.
And then if he doesn't want to do that, then you got to pay.
right.
So the
No,
fact
I
that you're
don't
even
mind
paying
paying.
for T-Pain concert
I don't mind
tickets
paying.
is pretty amazing.
I don't mind paying. It's
Really?
It's more just that I don't like to be inconvenienced.
Yeah.
I will pay to
I'm
be.
It's
with
a
you on that.
concert. It's always inconvenience.
I know,
That's
I
kind
know.
of the
Yeah,
whole
it is.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, the
Well-
Bruno ones. Oh my God.
Oh,
That was
Lord.
horrible.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Getting in and out?
Getting in and out.
But
And
trying
we
to
did
get
the-
tickets,
we
yeah.
did the park at a friend's house in the neighborhood across the street, but still, just that whole area. was
But now you can say you're glad you actually saw it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? During that Bruno time when
And
he had
that was
all
my
the
kid's
bands
first
come in.
concert.
No way.
For both of them. That was their first concert ever.
Talk about spoiled.
I know. I was like, you guys, man.
Jeez, can't top that.
Just so you know, they're not all like this. Right?
Yeah.
And actually, I kind of like the Blaisdell one even better than I like the.
Oh, really?
The sound better, yeah.
The sound was a little bit better. I thought, well, I mean, because it's
Reno
the
played the
Blaisdell.
Blaisdell?
Right.
Closer.
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah, earlier.
Oh, I
When
see.
he was doing the unconventional jukebox or
I
whatever.
always find that the
Unorthodox.
Blaisdell is too.
Unorthodox jukebox.
They turn it too loud, and then the sound bounces everywhere, and you don't hear. Although James Taylor was great.
James Taylor was amazing.
So was the Eagles when they played
Yeah.
NBC versus Malone Stadium. The
really?
sound was way better
Wow.
in NBC.
But I'm with you though. A lot of times concerts at the Blaisdell, the sound is just too.
Yeah.
If it's
You
a
can't-
rock concert, you gotta everything's
You
gonna
can't-
bounce.
That's because it's
everywhere.
James Taylor, and they're like, we didn't need to plug in for this,
Yeah.
do we? Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, it's fine. Anyway,
to 11.
we gotta ask your
Okay.
your basic background stuff because we all know you, but the people watching on the
So
mainland.
you were born and raised.
Military brat, so all over.
Okay.
First memories are in Southern California, Mission Viejo area, El Toro area. Then we moved to Michigan for a few years. Then another 5 in Kansas City. And then my dad's last tour was out here. And then
Oh.
You stayed put.
I stayed put because I graduated high school. So afterwards I was like, I'm 18. You guys are done and going back to the mainland. See ya, suckers. I loved it here. I fell in love so fast here. And
What made you stay?
Well, I had started in radio already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
So,
were young when you started.
I started right out of high school. It was literally like 2 months after I graduated.
This is with Lanai and
Yeah.
everybody-
So
you guys are all on the same age then.
So Lanai and I are exact same age, and
Yeah.
that's why we kind of gravitated to each other when we first started working at the radio station. We're like, oh, there's somebody the same age as me, and with all these other old people, right? It's like, oh, there we go. And Alan Oda was, he's a few years older than
Alan,
us,
yeah.
but we all kind of gravitated together because we were closer in age than everybody else there. So, it just kind of took off from there.
But Jimmy's from the time when the music was on carts, which were
Yes.
all 8-track tapes.
Right.
And
really?
when you needed to make a commercial and you had to do an edit, everything was on reel to reel, and you had to go out there and cut that little piece out, and put everything together and tape it.
And
It
that's what I was really good at.
Yeah,
that's
he was amazing at it.
I think
actually.
that got me in the door more so than anything else.
Yeah.
Was how quickly I picked up on that and was
Yeah.
able to start doing, music commercial production stuff in there. So
What year did it switch over from tape to digital?
late '90s, the first time I remember being at a station where we had computers.
And they're like, here's the computers.
Did you catch on fast like how you did with?
Yeah. And actually, I mean, so much easier because with the digital waveforms, you can see exactly where you want to cut stuff. Oh my God, I was just like, once I learned that, oh my goodness.
The reason why I know he's so good at it is because when we worked at FM 100 together, the 50th State Fair was happening, and somehow I got roped into bungee jumping.
Oh,
I remember you doing that.
Yeah. So I bungee jumped with the phone taped to my hand.
Yeah.
I'm bouncing and I'm making noises, and I thought it'd be really cool for me to.
Yeah, you're a lot heavier back then, so you bounced plenty.
I bounced plenty regardless. But the thing about it was, I thought it was just this one thing that I did on air. No, because he found it and made an entire thing. Like, they were like, check this out. Look what Jimmy did. And they play back this thing that Jimmy created. It's bungee jumping representative, Devon Nekoba. And I was
really?
like, what the hell?
Is it on YouTube?
Oh no.
No.
No, none of that stuff from back then.
Can you
man.
put it
Thank
tonight
God.
on YouTube for us?
I don't
No, I don't think. Thank God, I don't think he has.
I
it.
wish we could find that.
But it was I forget who it was that was even voicing the thing. I think it might have been you. And that was the thing I remembered about Jimmy. Was like, that freaking guy. Because it was
And it's still that way, though.
was
If
really
there's
well
any
done.
audio that gets left around
But back then it was harder to do that. So for you to take the time.
It took a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of effort. But it was worth it.
so worth it.
It was so worth it. But that I remember the FM 100 studios because that was probably, and I don't want to say rinky dink, but
Yeah, no, it was.
The equipment wasn't up to par as to some of the other places. That, like KQMQ had a full 24-track reel-to-reel machine in there. But
we did not have that.
But we had 2 just plain reel-to-reels and then a cart machine. So you're over here like playing this one for the music and this one for the voice and then talking over that and sound effects. Bing, bing, bing. It was insane to try to put together a commercial.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Yeah, he did it. And I mean, the stuff that he would put together was always done on time or earlier. It was always really very quickly done. And everybody's like, oh, shit. So it was great. I mean, job security for you because he was like a one-man
It helped.
editing machine. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you add in the on-air component of it. I mean, but how many different people have you worked with?
Partner-wise?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. So Lanai was my first.
Yeah.
You always remember your first.
He must have got you in a lot of trouble being a local guy running around here and then you coming, following him around and stuff, showing you all those.
No, not so much. I mean, he's not as troublemaker as I think some people would think. I mean, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
For sure. Kid Leo was my next partner. There was some trouble. And we won't even get into because I think the statute of limitations is
no,
still.
I don't think so, man.
But Cutmaster Spaz did mornings with him for a little while. And now with Mr. W.
Is it
Perry.
only 4? Really?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, no, MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, MJ. I did mornings with MJ for a little while, too. Yeah.
Wow.
And how is it different running a morning show versus just a afternoon or evening?
Well, getting up at 3 a.m.
That's no fun.
I've never been a morning person.
Yeah.
And I don't care how long you do it, you never get like 3 o'clock and the alarm goes off. I swear to God, I want to throw the phone across the room every morning. But I think one of the main things is that you're very cognizant of how many people are listening. Morning drive is the time, right?
Yeah.
And I knew all the years that I was in radio that if you want to make money, you got to be on the morning show.
Yeah.
But I did 10 years of nights and all of that other stuff. So finally, when you got into morning, it was like, oh, okay.
So when did you start KSSK?
KSSK, I've been there since 2016, so 8 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a
But it
while.
was funny because when we found out he was producing, I was like, wait, what?
That's exactly what I said, too.
Yeah, I was like,
a minute.
wait, why is he producing?
All the years of cutting up tape and learning how to do that kind of stuff that got you to start.
Well, morning show producing, I mean, there's an audio component, but it's more so just kind of making sure everything's flowing and moving stuff around within the log so that, commercials play, songs play, what few we have.
Because unlike my radio show, right, I got to produce my own show.
Right.
He actually produces it for Michael W. Perry.
Right.
So he's the one making sure that, if Michael says, hey, jettison 3 songs because I'm going to do this thing next, he just goes, okay.
Or I make the call. I'll be like, hey, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We're in 86, the Eagles Hotel California, because it's 7 minutes long.
So right around this time, would you be taking a nap right now instead of doing this podcast?
Yes,
Kinda, yeah.
100%. I would have. Usually, the nap is involuntary, and it comes right after lunch. Right, so I eat lunch, and I've got the TV on, and then the next thing I know, it's like 3 o'clock.
And when's bedtime?
Usually about 9:30ish.
That's not much sleep.
Like 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda
With
get
the
used
nap?
to it.
Do you sleep?
5.5. Yeah.
About 4-5 hours.
A day.
Yeah.
Is it
Well,
for
I mean, I
weekends?
get a nap in too. I
Yeah,
think if you do morning show for any length of time, you're gonna get a nap in.
Naps
Yeah.
are
got
are
it.
great. I do naps too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No, you just
I
sleep
I
a really
do.
long time.
We all old, that's why.
No.
After I eat, then I get the kanak attack.
Yeah,
and I go,
full.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
Yeah.
a nap.
Yeah.
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 I get the kind of naps when I wake up. I think it's the next day.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh,
Really?
I wake up and brush my teeth. And I go, where my wife's day? I'm like,
Where?
oh wait, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Those are the bad naps too.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
that means you slept too.
Yeah.
isn't the nap supposed to be like 30 minutes or less?
That's what they say, but they're lying.
Yeah.
Those guys are just
man.
trying to make money off of us.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some kind of agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No such thing as a power nap. You nap as long as you can.
So I set my alarm for 34 minutes because I figure there's 4 minutes to fall asleep and then you have 30 minutes to sleep. And then you wake up and you feel good. Like, but if you sleep for an hour and a half, then I'm up all night after that.
Wait till you get our age.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're younger than us.
I don't know 2 hours.
Have you heard of the coffee nap?
The coffee.
No, it's a real thing. You're supposed to drink coffee right before you take the nap, so that when you wake up, the caffeine's kicks in.
Yeah, I have heard of that. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Sounds like Heartburn City, though, man.
Yeah. You gotta maybe sleep sitting up.
Yeah, you gotta sleep a certain way.
Yeah, that's a reflux.
Yeah, right.
Again, we old. I think there's other things need to take into
consideration. Is the show going now?
I don't even eat spicy shit at night now. Like acid reflux.
Right. Yeah.
If I eat spaghetti or something, I'm like, oh no, I'm wake up and I'm like. Sad.
Okay, so the radio thing, I mean, has pretty much been continuous through your whole career. The part I think people didn't realize is your sports background and your love of sports that led you to OC16. Right. And it's funny because you've been there a really long time, and you. Right? I mean,
OC16, I've been there 9 years now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But when you started doing, it's like when, hi Rory, it's like when Rory did that football game.
Right.
And they brought him on and he started doing color commentary and I went, what?
But Rory actually did play-by-play stuff like back in the day. I think
but I didn't even know that.
Before I-94, I think he had done some radio play-by-play stuff.
Yeah. But I didn't even know that. So I was like, that sounds like Rory, but cannot be, because what the hell? Like, he's talking about formations.
Did you watch a lot of sports before as a kid, or you play a lot of sports? How did that get?
Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot growing up. We were a sports family, and I didn't play. I played baseball all the way till I was 16. Never played high school because I was too scared for tryout. One of the regrets in life, right? Dang it, why didn't I? But especially having just moved down here as a Howley kid, and just didn't have the nerve to go out and do that. But just always loved sports. We were always playing something. I had an older brother, so it was always we're playing. We're either throwing the baseball, shooting hoops, or playing neighborhood football with the boys. So just always been around sports and loved it. And
commentating came naturally then for you, yeah.
What's that?
It just came naturally for you.
Yeah. And that's, I think one of the other regrets is I wish I had done it sooner. I wish I had pursued. I've always said for years, like, oh, one day I'd love to be on ESPN. But, you never think, how would I ever do that? Or where am I, so radio was my thing, and I stuck with that. But I wish I would have done some of the sports stuff sooner. Yeah.
How did you fall into that anyway?
The sport. So Dave Vinton and I have been good friends for a long time, and this was when OC16 was starting up the XCast channel. So they had multiple channels, and they were doing multiple games sometimes on one night.
Yeah, right.
And so they
strictly high school.
Yeah, and so they had Jen Boniza. She was the main sideline reporter at the time, but they needed another one, and Dave. Remembered that I love sports, and so he's like, "Hey, would you be interested in coming out and doing this?" I was 100%, man. Let's go.
Dave
Vinton.
Oh, okay.
He's a sports guy at KGMB, I believe.
Yeah, used to be, but
but now he just does.
Now he's the OC guy, right?
Okay.
So he handles all the high school sports at OC16. So it was just again kind of like my radio career. Like it just kind of falls into your lap.
Yeah.
And you just run with it.
Well, how did you get the Geek anyway? What was that? Because we got to tell that story.
Yeah. Okay. So when I first started in radio, I was 17, but by 18 was when I got my first actual air shift.
Yeah.
And so my boss at the time was a guy named Jay Stone. I don't know if you guys remember Jay Stone, radio legend, been around for years. He was the one who produced Glenn Medeiros' "Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You" after he won Brown Bags.
Oh, wow.
So that's Jay's big credit, right? But Jay and I were talking about radio names, and if you remember a guy, Jimmy the Greek.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this was when he had just gotten fired for saying all that racial stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a newspaper on Jay's desk that says Jimmy the Greek fired for whatever. And he looks at that, and he looks at me. And remember now, I'm just out of high school. I weigh $120 soaking wet at 6'1", and I've got braces, right? And he just looks at me and goes, "You should call yourself Jimmy the Geek." And I'm like, "Hell no! What are you talking about?" And he just kept kind of riding it on. And finally, after a couple of weeks, I went on the air, and without telling him, I just used it. Because, at this point in my head, I'm like, this old mother is challenging me, and I'm not going to back down. So I went on the air, and I used it, and I started getting calls.
Huh.
People are like, what did you say your name was? And seriously, like, within 6 months, like, the name recognition when they would do like call out research stuff was way up there. Like people were like, they remember my name.
Yeah.
Because it was so out there, right?
Yeah.
And so it stuck.
Right.
Yeah, what are you gonna do at that point, right? You know, you
keep
gotta
it, right?
change it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Bender is not as
No,
not as catchy. Somehow not as catchy.
Well, let me tell you one of the ones I came up with before Jay came up with that. Jungle Jim.
Oh, Lord. Wow.
I was going to have some sound effects like, whatever. Thank you, Jay. That was much better.
I think we appreciate that.
I think Jay worked it out.
Yeah.
I did have that same nickname once.
Really?
I remember when I was
John the Geek?
I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I met this girl from Kawana Intermediate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at New Valley. And, she had this like kind of local rough brother, older guy. And he would answer the phone and be like, "Hi, may I speak to Leanne?" He'd be like, "Hey, the geek is on the phone." I was like, all right.
I don't think that was the same thing. A
little bit different.
I mean, we'll go with it. All right. A little bit,
Well, and that's one of those things. It was a hard, especially as a young man trying to, come into my world and figure out who the heck I am, and being on my own now because my parents are gone. Having people call me that and trying to figure out, are they saying it lovingly, or are they be like, "Hey, geek"? You know what I mean? So that was tough, but like I said, it stuck. Like even coming on to KSSK as a 40-something-year-old, the conversation was had like, "Are you still going to use this name?" And I tell you what, Mr. Perry stuck up for me and said, "That's what people know him as."
Yeah.
Why are you going to change it now?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and geek is not as derogatory
No,
as
it's
it used
not.
to be.
No.
Because you have sports geeks now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't have that
Geeks,
same.
There's a whole squad of geeks, apparently. I see the fans all the time.
There it is.
So, yeah.
They delivered my refrigerator the other day. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're glad you stuck with that name, right? Just
Yeah.
kept you relevant, and
Yeah, for
people
sure.
remember you for so long.
Yeah,
now.
100%.
Yeah. I remember when Devon first started KCC, and I think John Ayato named you the Ant.
No,
Yeah,
it was Jake Hope. I remember
Yeah,
Jake.
Oh, yeah, Jake. Yeah.
So he goes,
Because I was working on the weekends.
yeah, so he goes, I think they're gonna call me Devon the Ant Nekoba, and I'm like, the Ant, and then I go, why? And he goes, I don't know. And then I realized they named him that because anytime there's like snacks or food, get the ant come and eat all the thing right at the end, crumbs and
No,
stuff.
that's not why.
Well, to me, that's what it makes sense.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was the reason why I was not gonna use that, but because Jake and I worked on the weekends, right?
Right.
And so I would come into the studio right before him or right after him.
Yeah.
And so and we'd see each other for, I don't know, like a year, maybe a year and a half. And then one day he's about to sign off, and he goes, "And coming up next, Devon the Ant Nekoba." And he shuts off the mic, and I went, "What?" I go, "Why?
Why did you
Why?"
call me
He
that?
goes, "Yeah, you should use that." I went, "No, Jake, I'm not gonna use
Is
that."
that your statue or your snack
No,
eating?
I said, "What is that?" He goes, "No, that's good, bro. Just it's something catchy, bro." I went, "Catch." That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. And so I fought it for for a year at least because he would not let it go every time.
Yeah.
He was the only guy. Everybody else, everybody else was saying,
man.
do something else, and he kept using it and kept using it and kept using it, and then the midday shift came up. Davey was the PD. He said, "Okay, well, we're going to, if you want to take the shift, come up with something." And I went, "Oh, damn it." So I was like, "All right, well, I guess it's Devin." And I thought it'd be cool because, the ant, they're strong, they're mighty, they work together. And then he came up with the whole pest thing. But I got a shirt out of it.
works,
And then I said, "Kyle, you got to make me one shirt." And then he made like the coolest shirt ever. And so everybody wanted the shirt. And then, so even now to this day, because I don't use it anymore. But people to this day go, "Hey, the ant."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh my God, seriously? You still?" Holy crap!
At least they didn't call you the Owl. There was somebody at FM 100, and I won't name a name, but we used to call him the Owl. And when people say, "Why do you call him the Owl?" Because every time we say his name, people go, "Who?"
You gotta tell me who that is off the air.
Yeah. That's for,
I thought it was gonna be someone who worked nights.
that's for the After Hours podcast.
That's the bonus. That's for the Patreons.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you end up with Ryan and Lanai then, with the Three Local Boys and all that stuff?
So Three Local Boys actually first started as me, Lanai, and Alan Oda.
Oh,
and that stemmed out of a Brown Bags performance. So one year when Brown Bags was coming up, and this was when we were still doing it it was the last year we did it in the concert hall at the Blaisdell. Then after that, it was in the arena. But for the intermission, BBC was going to perform, but they also wanted us, because we had this thing going on Alan's nighttime show called Yo I-94 Raps, where I would write these little raps over the intros of songs, right? So they said, do something, do a rap. Come out and do a rap as you guys. Okay, whatever. So we did it. Matt Young saw it and said, oh, we can do something with this. So Three Local Boys, and we did the first album. Ryan came on board for the second album because he had won Brown Bags that year.
What did Ryan win Brown Bags in?
He did stand-up comedy. Yeah.
He won doing stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, there was two divisions.
Wow.
He won, and then I think that same year in the dance division, it was, what was their name? Club Supremacy from Wailua High School.
Wow.
Which is, what's his name?
Cool?
Yeah, Cool E.
That's right.
Yeah, he was in that group. Cool E was in that group.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And Ulep, what's his name? Jason Ulep was in that one as well.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, so Ryan had won. So as part of his contract, he got an album with Matt Young. And so what Matt decided to do was to throw him with us. Because Alan was going to leave the group anyway to do some of his work stuff. So he threw him with
to
with
do
us.
the adulting thing.
Yeah, right. to do the normal stuff. So that's how the second album came about with Ryan. That was part of Matt Young putting the contract with the album that he needed to do, and said let's put these guys all together.
I mean, Three Local Boys back in the day was a big thing. You guys used to do concerts and albums and stuff.
We didn't make any money, so it didn't feel like it.
So it was an entity under the I-94 thing, or did you guys go out and do your own?
No, it was our own thing.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. But it started from that Brown Bags concert. That's when Matt Young was like, oh, we can do something. And actually, the first album wasn't even parodies. It was all original songs,
like rap.
Yeah, like Freddie Von Perez did all the beats and stuff, and then we wrote all the lyrics and stuff. So, but then I think it was right after that first album, on the radio, we came up with "Me So Hungry," and then Matt was like, "We got to redo the first album with this on there." And then the parody thing took over from there. That's when that became the first.
What kind of rap was it before the parody?
It was. I mean, it was all like I said, they're original songs, but it was silly local stuff. We had a song called Ume Musubi and Spam.
Oh, so it was still in a comedy kind of range.
Yeah.
You guys wasn't like coming out of Compton kind of
no.
rap music kind of thing.
Straight out of Kalahale.
So I saw you guys perform live to open for Vanilla Ice.
Yes.
No way.
Pack Beach Hotel.
What?
Did you get to meet him?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually I had done my hair like
Oh my God.
because we performed as Three Local Boys opening for him.
Yeah.
And I think we had Ice Ice Baby at the time. Or Rice Baby, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I had done because I was the only white guy in the group. The only guy who could pull that off.
So Rice Baby, how did you guys work with Vanilla Ice and actually being able to perform that?
I don't think they didn't do that song that night.
This is back in the day before they did the whole.
Because I mean, Vanilla Ice went through the controversy with Queen and his
right.
So,
but back in the day, parodies were really kind of wide open. It was the Wild West.
Was the Weird Al days?
Yeah. And I know the stories that Weird Al would actually ask permission.
Yeah.
I don't think Matt Young ever. We just did it.
No. So technically, for a parody, you do not have to ask permission. Weird Al does as a courtesy.
Yeah.
Unless-
But actually nowadays, I mean, the rules are a little different. You do need full copyright and everything. It's not considered parody unless you're parodying the song itself. If you do a parody song and the subject matter is something different than
Changing
the song,
the lyrics, but
you're
keeping
changing
the
the
beat.
lyrics,
Yeah.
that's considered copyright infringement.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, they're real
Well, because I
strict
know
about that kind of
like
stuff.
cover songs, you also don't need permission unless you're changing lyrics and stuff.
Really?
So like I can cover a Bob Marley song.
But
I
you
just
can't record a Bob Marley song without permission.
no,
right?
I can. I
And
just have
sell it?
Yeah, you
What?
just have to
Oh.
pay a mechanics. You have to
Oh,
pay
oh,
a
yeah, yeah,
royalty.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
an automatic. But if I do stir it up, but I change the word to John is awesome,
Yeah.
then that's a problem.
Oh, I want to hear that
Be a
version.
problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
money for that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
pay money for
Yeah,
that.
so it's only if you're changing it. If you just do a straight cover of the song, you don't have to, because you're gonna pay a royalty.
Okay.
It's already
Gotcha.
set.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys opened up for Vanilla Ice, and you guys actually sing Rice, Rice Baby, do you think he was like, what the hell is going on?
I don't remember any problems.
Yeah.
And now you mention it, I probably was thinking that night, like, oh.
I think it was more the fact that your hair was cut the way it was
there's
cut, and
that
I'd be
too.
worried that you were
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get mad.
And I was wearing some really horrible late 80s, early 90s sweater.
Wow.
I remember that.
So do you
There's
have-
pictures. I remember them.
Do you have somebody that dressed you guys usually like for concerts, like a costume designer and stuff?
Oh,
Or you guys-
no. We just came up with it all ourselves. It was pretty much, we just kind of figured out we want to do this song, and you know, if we were going to do anything.
I'm trying to think. I think that was my first concert.
Was it really?
Yeah, I was in seventh
Wow.
grade.
Your first concert was a Vanilla Ice
Yeah, it was your
concert.
There you
first.
go.
Yeah, and
And
Three Local Boys
Three
was
Local
my
Boys.
first.
Wow.
Wow.
Because technically they opened first, so they were first.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that's the thing. Like, in our history, I don't think we were ever the headliner. We were always an opener or a surprise. Like, it never was, come see the Three Local Boys. It was, you're coming to watch somebody else, and, oh, by the way, here's these three idiots.
Well, that makes sense now because you guys went your separate ways after that, and I always used to think like, I thought these guys were like good friends. How come they don't work together? But you didn't really know each other when the whole thing even came together.
Yeah, I mean, we were good friends, but I think, you know, what ended up happening is, you know, when I left I-94, then it kind
not
of...
like you could do anything.
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't like you three got together and said we're going to do this.
Right.
Matt brought Ryan in, and
Right,
kinda,
right.
You know, so it's a little different. Even though, yeah, you guys are probably friends. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, like, I remember watching Ryan that night at Brown Bags and being like, man, this dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
He had... The one thing I remember that stood out, he had this bit about... he says, what if MC Hammer was gay? And then they put on, you can't touch this, but he's like, excuse me, can you touch this? And he's like that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, this guy's hilarious. And then when Matt said you're going to work with him, I'm like, okay, cool. I know this guy's funny.
Yeah.
No. Ryan's mind is so
Oh, my goodness.
quick and just all over the place.
Out there.
Yeah. He
yeah.
comes at it from an angle. You go,
Yeah.
what? Oh,
Yeah, like even
okay.
people that are coming out of left field are like, well, that's way out there.
You know, I remember talking to Lanai back maybe a couple of years ago, and you guys did some kind of reunion thing, right?
We've been talking about it, and what we've been trying to do is get all the stuff digitized. You know, we want to be, you know, because none of the Three Local Boys stuff was even on CD. It was all cassette. So we've been trying to get it to where we can get it in a digital format, you know, like in iTunes or whatever, and get it out there so people can buy it. Because unless you have a cassette player, you ain't listening to Three Local Boys.
Yeah.
You actually didn't you find a copy of it?
I got a copy at home.
Nice.
It's actually not that hard to do. You just need the cassette player.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they don't really have. I mean, they still sell them, but not too many people have it.
But ask the generation behind us what a cassette player is, and they're like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah,
I
I haven't.
take this pencil.
Yeah.
Because even you grew up in a CD age already, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had cassettes, but yeah, CDs.
Yeah,
were...
because the copy of the stuff that you did with Justin in your house that was on
a
cassette.
CD.
No, that's CD.
Is that CD?
Yeah.
We
that
we
was
did have
CD.
Pure Heart cassettes.
Yeah.
So I do date myself like, hey, you know, I am old enough that we had a cassette
Right.
of our album. You know.
Yeah.
You had no vinyl though.
No vinyl.
Yeah.
No.
But I was so excited when I did my first solo one that we did it on CD. I was like, oh my God, I made it.
Yeah.
CD, man.
Yeah.
That was such a
And
big
now
deal.
CDs they don't even make CDs
No,
anymore.
they don't do that anymore.
I want to give props to your wife, Tracy, because she's awesome. She works for
She's not
Special
bad.
Olympics.
She's not-
And
yeah.
just curious, like, how did you meet her? Because you scored yourself a local girl, dude.
Yeah. Gosh.
Did she know you as Jimmy the Geek?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when
She,
she
I mean, she
first
was
met her?
actually she was a fan. Like the first time I talked to her.
Look at you.
Yeah. No, I mean, the first time I talked to her, she said, "Oh my God, I'm a fan," and like
You're like, hey, how you doing?
I just bought your album and stuff. I was like, "Oh wow, thanks, that's one."
You're like, I better marry her.
And I still didn't make any money off it. But yeah, it was. She was working at another radio station at the time, and we just kind of met and.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because it's been, 20-something years now?
20. We met in '96.
Wow. What
Yeah.
What was she doing at the other station, DJ?
No, she was trying sales. Like she wasn't a radio she was just trying this. It was a radio station that was designed to be for Japanese tourists. So the music was, if I remember this right, the music was American music, but the DJs were Japanese.
Oh, interesting.
But it was aimed. The market was Japanese tourists that are here on vacation that want to hear American music, but also want information, in Japanese.
Yeah.
Very very niche market.
Yeah.
And she wasn't there for very long. But yeah, that's how I ended up meeting her, and it was one of those things where our circle of friends, like she knew Lanai before I did. She knew him in high school.
What?
As a McKinley cheerleader, Lanai High School would come over every year. For volleyball.
When Lanai was cheerleading for McKinley.
Yes, when he was a cheerleader. No, and he was
volleyball
playing.
player.
He was playing volleyball
Yeah.
for Lanai High, and they would come over every year. And so she met him there, and then ran into him in college again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so this whole circle of friends was all the same people, but we didn't meet till we were like in our mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay, this is meant to be, right?
Yeah.
Like the universe held us off, because if we had met when we were younger,
It wasn't
Yeah.
gonna work
Wouldn't
out. Should have been like, who? That guy? No,
he shaved his head like Vanilla Ice. What the heck's wrong with this guy?
But the reason why I wanted to bring up your wife is because she's super involved with Special Olympics.
Yeah.
Which means you're super involved with Special Olympics.
Yeah, voluntold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but one of the coolest things is his wife, because she's involved with all that stuff. One of the things they do is that, what do they call
Over
it?
the edge.
Yeah, it's over
Yeah.
the edge.
Oh,
So
and you did that a couple
I
times.
did that a
too.
couple
Oh.
times, and it
You're
was
a brave
It was
man.
through
and it was mainly because Tracy was involved, and then the first time I did it was because of the radio station. Because I'm always doing dumb shit because of the radio station. But I'm so it's 40 stories over the edge, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming down, and I realize I'm not doing any of that sightseeing shit. No. I need to get down.
Yeah,
Because
as
you
fast as
look
possible.
out and you're like, oh my
Ooh.
God, there is nothing but me and this rope
Yeah.
from dying.
Yeah.
And so I'm just hitting that. It's like a little clutch
Stop,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
You pull it and then you go. And I was like, I'm just trying to get down as quickly as possible.
Well,
right?
you're not selling it very well. If you want to try Over the Edge.
Oh God, dude. No, I mean it was exhilarating. I mean, I did it twice, so it was fun to do. But I was just trying to get to the bottom, and as I hit the 10th floor, I hear, and over here on the 10th floor we see. I think that looks like Devon Nekoba. He's from 94.7. Yeah, he's gonna. I don't know how well he's doing. Devon, don't throw up on everybody when you're coming back. And I'm like, why do I know that voice? And I was like, oh my God, it's Jimmy. And he's sitting on a lawn chair with a microphone talking as I'm coming down.
Chase Lounge. So because imagine, he said it's 40 stories, right? Yeah. So in order to keep my neck from hurting and doing this all day, I lay flat on the chair and just look up. And here they because
You did all the commentary for
Oh, yeah,
I because I tell every year Tracy says, "Will you do it?" Right? Because they want to get media people to do it and social media and promote it. I can't do that. I'm definitely afraid of heights. So I told her, this is what I can do.
You got the best job.
It's amazing. I just sit there and watch these people come down.
And make fun of them the whole time.
That's right.
That's awesome.
And then 1 year, Esme did it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And she got stuck.
Yeah. Tracy got stuck too when she did it.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Because if you're tiny, and Tracy's tiny, his wife is tiny, you can get to a certain point where
the weight doesn't
doesn't work, and
Yeah.
so you just sit there and you just hang.
Yeah.
And so as we were just sitting there, and and then you start to spin very slowly because the thing starts winding around. It's like, oh my god!
And you're like making the signals at the ropes. People like help, help.
Somebody had to come down, loosen it up.
Really?
So same thing happened to Trace too. Then.
Yeah, they just pulled the rope from up above. She just needed help with the rope. Yeah.
But I was so terrified of that happening. I was just, you should do it, John.
I'm not a heights guy either, man. I don't know. Yeah.
I swear, like every year she's like, go ask people around the radio station. And it's like 99%.
This guy's so skinny, he won't make it past the 39th floor. Just jump off and hang right there.
But it is really cool to do. And it's for such a great cause because you meet some of the athletes and stuff.
Right.
In high school, I volunteered at the Special Olympics and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
No, it's an amazing organization.
Yeah, it was really good, really well run,
Yeah.
and you as a volunteer, you kind of forget some of the enthusiasm that some of the participants have for the sports and stuff, and it reminds you like, hey man, like you can enjoy things a little bit more,
Absolutely.
So I would recommend
man.
anybody who can go out and volunteer because I was just handing out water, but I had such a blast.
SOHawaii.org in case you want.
There you go. Can I ask you a question? What was your most memorable sports moment?
Oh, jeez. Me personally playing or just in general?
In general.
I think for me, one of the biggest ones was as a kid when we lived in Kansas City. We moved there in 80, which was the year they went to the World Series.
George Brett,
Hal McRae, Willie Wilson, Frank White. I mean, Dan Quisenberry. I had an autograph. Dan Quisenberry baseball. But the ALCS against the Yankees, game 1 was in Kansas City. On a school day, my dad got us out of school to go to that game. And I just remember sitting in class and the announcement, Mr. Cruz, could you please send Mr. Bender to the office? His dad is here to pick him up. And I'm like, see ya, suckers! Going to the game.
Were you the only one in that class that got to get out?
Yep, I was the only one in that class.
Wow.
It was so, and I remember the Royals won, I think it was 7-0 that game. Brett hit a home run. It was amazing. And it was just one of those moments where, whatever you and your dad have, whatever relationship, there's just moments like that where you're like, this is what it's all about. And then for me as a father, it was taking my kids to their first game at Wrigley. And the way the game played out, it was insane. There was a rain delay. We were 90 minutes away in my dad's hometown in Rockford. And it's just storming, tornado warning, like all this stuff going on, right? And I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get to play. I called my uncle, he's actually a beer vendor at the time at Wrigley. Call Uncle Mike. I'm like, what's it like down there? He says, they might be able to get it in. Just come down. So we drive in. It's storming the whole way there. I'm like, oh, my God. And there was a delay of about 45 minutes. We waited at the Taco Bell across the street. I remember that. And then Uncle Mike calls me and says, game's on. Let's go. So we run across the street. We go in. They get the game in. We're down 7 by the 5th inning. We come back, tie it in the 9th, send it to extras, and win it in extras. Insane. Wow. The place is going, they're going bonkers. Yeah. We're hugging people we don't even know.
You got your money's worth that game.
Oh, we got our money. And then we left and went to the White Castle about 3 miles down Addison, and the storm came back. Like it just fit in the window.
Yeah.
They made the comeback, and it was like the most amazing moment, man. And same thing. I told my kids, you guys are spoiled, rotten.
Man, they are spoiled rotten. I saw Bruno Mars as their first
Bruno
concert.
Mars' first concert.
Go to Wrigley for that
Wrigley,
game.
and they get a game like that. Yeah, it's just insane.
Before you ask your last question, can I ask one more?
You can sure do that.
What was your most memorable radio moment?
Oh, my goodness. That is a really tough question.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But I think getting that call to do mornings, and finally, like, for 10 years working at night and being a night person, it kind of suited me. But to get that call from somebody saying they wanted us to do mornings, I was like, really? Huh? That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Who you? What was that for? The morning show with you?
That was Kid Leo when we started
okay.
Extreme Radio back in that was back in '97.
Wow.
Yeah, we got it. It was Jay Stone again.
Radio.
It was Jay Stone called us and said, "We're starting a new radio station. We want you guys to do mornings." And I was like, "Wow, cool."
Awesome. How long did Extreme Radio go on for?
I was only there for a few years before I left for the mainland, and I think it went on for a couple more years. They changed it to Power 104.3, right? So it's the same.
What kind of music was that?
So when we started it, we were doing, the reason it was called
Top
Extreme
40, right?
is it was like a combination of alternative and hip hop.
Yeah.
That's why we called it Extreme, is we were trying this new thing out. It's like, we know people like the two kinds of music, and there's been some crossover in between those two worlds, so we thought we'd try that.
Ice-T and what rock band did he play
Linkin
with?
Park? No.
No. That was Jay-Z, but yeah, Ice-T. Gosh,
He did a F the Police, but it was a rock version.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually wasn't F the Police because that's NWA, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he did Cop Killer.
Oh, Cop Killer. Yeah.
That was Body Count.
Oh,
Body Count.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
That was that.
Wow.
that
Devin
was
is
a
our music
Who knew he
historian.
was going to be the hip-hop guy?
Yeah.
No, Devin just knows. He's so good. He should be on
Yeah.
like some kind of game show with music.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's that one? Beat Shazam.
Beaches. I don't know. I'm watching that and I'm trying to play along. I'm like, God, I suck at this game. Because these like nobody people who don't do
It's
radio.
the pressure to do it fast. is
Yeah,
what
I
it
think
is.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they get it in like 2 seconds and I go,
Right.
how the hell? Yeah.
Devin's our Rain Man of music.
Yeah.
Nice.
The
Yeah.
history and everything.
Very good.
Okay, so Jimmy, this is
right.
our last question. We
Love
are
the
technically
last
on
question.
a music channel.
All right.
So here goes. Okay. If you were stranded on a desert island for the rest of eternity and you could only take 3 albums with you to listen
3.
to for the rest of time, what would those 3 albums be?
3 albums. I would probably throw out Duran Duran's Rio.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not joking. You serious?
No, I'm not joking.
Okay.
That was a big album for me
Yeah.
as a kid. Like that was.
Oh, it's good
I just
stuff.
musically, God,
Yeah.
they were so innovative, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Loved them. I would probably throw in Bob Marley, the one with all the hits. Legend, yeah.
All right. At this point, we just got to go with it.
Yeah. At this point, that's a given for mostly everybody.
It is, right?
Yeah.
But that too,
Yeah.
like when I first stumbled across Bob, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so wow. Last one, ooh. Yeah, I was also a big heavy metal fan back in the day, and I'll say how influential Def Leppard's Pyromania was for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a really good album.
that was huge. And then once you discovered that, you discovered the earlier stuff, High and Dry and all that, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, what is your handicap now for golf?
For golf?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I don't even keep one because I'm horrible. I don't play enough.
Dude, come on. I see you
I
on the
don't
course
play.
all the time.
I don't play enough.
Where's your
golf.
favorite course on the island?
I love Eva Beach, the one that's all the way down at the end. I think they call it 360 or whatever now. It used to be Eva Beach International.
Okay.
That's a good one. Kapolei is great.
Nice and wide.
Ho'akalei, but that's a private one. But
Yeah.
I love Ho'akalei. That's a good course.
Oh.
So they're all out on that side. You got to drive all
Yeah,
the
I
way
know,
out.
dude. That's far,
I
man.
know, man.
Yeah. So you don't do any Olamana or Pali or...
I do, but yeah, I mean, if you give me a choice, and
Yeah.
because a lot of times when I play now, it's tournaments too, right? And those are always out at Prince or whatever, all those courses out that side.
Yeah. All
Well,
right.
we gotta go play sometime so I can see about this whole I suck thing because I watch you on the course. I'm watching you swing. I'm like, dude, he's actually pretty good, man. So
Kyle and I will meet you at the 19th hole.
Yeah.
There we
hey,
go.
you guys can just drive the cart and just
Yeah,
run
drive the
around.
cart.
Yeah.
I would have fun driving a cart.
Play the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for coming in. It's good.
Thanks
to
for
get
having me,
to
man.
talk
This-
to you, and for everybody else, we'll see you next week. We are back.
Take
My
care.
computer just wants to sleep. Oh, okay, it's still there. Okay, thank you.